Darren Rovell here with Brahm Wachter, the head of Modern Collectibles here at Sotheby's, and we are standing by a Michael Jordan jersey, which is, we definitely think it is his pro debut. He wore it on his pro debut on October 5th, 1984 in Peoria.
Yes. So it's really interesting. So the history of this jersey is it was sold, or it was given by the Bulls to a Bullets charity auction. By the way, I don't even think this is publicized yet. It actually was sold for $1,000, but the guy who won it didn't pay.
Oh my God!
And so it went to the underbidder for $800. And then he eventually...
Was that in 1985?
It would have, yes, in 1985.
Okay.
It then transacted privately, went to a Basketball Hall of Fame auction, I believe in 2009, and is now back at market for the first time since then. But what's really interesting is Michael wore a very distinct style of jersey in the preseason, and then they switched in the regular season when they gave him his own jersey.
Okay, now for people that don't know, the script Chicago is only 84-85. That's the only year. So that takes out a lot of his career, right? So it has to be 84-85 when it's script Chicago.
And what I would also say is this font of the 2 and 3 is unique.
I've never seen that.
And what you can see is they actually removed a previous player's.
Looks like it might have been a 9 or whatever the connection is.
We think it was a 3 and a 5.
Okay.
And you can see this in pictures on his second game and his fourth NBA game. So it's matched to those two games. And then if you come around to the back, can we do that? So you can see something that looks like a W here, and an I. So you would say, okay, maybe it's Wiggins. Wiggins. But at the same time, there appear to be multiple names in there. Also, you can kind of see an A. And so we refrain from saying exactly whose we think it is. But what Migrate did is they worked with a forensic analysis company. And they used a special software to measure the distance geometrically between the numbers on the back and the spacing in between the numbers. And then they compared it against video footage from his first game in Peoria.
Because there's not a photo. There's not a photo from that game.
There's no photos. And that's how they forensically attributed it to the first game.
Wow, okay. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Jordan played the Pacers that game. It's so strange why it would go to now he played his actual debut against the Bullets, but why it would go to a Bullets charity auction.
I wasn't there in 85.
That's crazy. Now, the practice of taking a jersey and repurposing it, certainly, you had that in the 60s and 70s in baseball all the time, where they would the Yankees famously sent down Mantles and DiMaggios down to the minor leagues for a AAA guy to wear it. Have we seen that in 80s jerseys before at all at an NBA?
So if you actually look in our important sports memorabilia auction that's going right now, you'll see a Oakley jersey, which is presumably his first jersey, where they literally cut the name Oakley out and pasted it on top of another jersey. And so...
On top of another name?
Yeah, on top of another name.
Wow. Okay.
And so you do see it from the
Bulls. And that's 85.
Yeah, 85, 86.
Right.
You do see that from the Bulls at that time. But it kind of, for me, what really blows me away is if you think about Michael Jordan walking into the locker room for the first time, literally,
and getting a second-hand jersey. By the way, the screen printing on the Jordan, that was not redone. That's not been redone?
Well, one thing, I saw a theory online that basically said maybe they started to make it for, one or multiple different players, and then they never actually used it. So maybe it is Jordan, it was made for Jordan, but they had tried.
But everything here, that Jordan we think is original.
Oh, yes.
That Jordan,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's pretty good, too, that it's that perfect.
Yeah, it looks great. And, of course, he gave it a big signature on the front.
Yeah, my very best, Michael Jordan. The estimate here also around the $10 million range. Kobe, Jordan, I got to ask you the tough question. Who do you give the edge to here and why?
I think in terms of value, I think that most people in our space might agree that the Kobe might actually be the more valuable. And that's because it's both first preseason, but it's also first regular season game, first media day, and there's
we don't know is if it's first regular season game, or we know it's not.
It's not their first regular season game.
What games do they match to regular season? Do we know?
This one?
Yes.
This is not a regular season jersey. This is a preseason only game worn jersey.
So we know we believe he wore it in the first game.
First game, second game, fourth game. But honestly, because of the unique font of the letters, you can also see him wearing that in Madison Square Garden. There's just not enough high quality media.
Got it. You're just being conservative.
Yes, most likely this was worn the entire preseason of 1984, and then they gave him his own fully, done jersey
as he should
for the first regular season game. Yes.
Right. Got it. Okay. So because the Kobe has that regular season, how many?
I think it should go. I think that should go for more.
Right. Wow. Remarkable. Just remarkable to see. And I mean, it looks like he couldn't even fit into that. I mean, I guess over time,
Yeah. Well, also, over time, and it's also a pretty muscular mannequin. I'll tell you that.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's amazing. Wow. What a really cool piece. And I think a lot of people today won't believe kind of exactly what went on in the 80s. Well, it was even crazier in the 70s and the 60s.
Yeah.
And now these guys have perfect jerseys and maybe wear them for halves.
Yeah, no, I also think, the importance that I think the market has on these now, it obviously was not the same thing in 1980.
Yes.
Nobody was thinking about
it. Was a piece of laundry.
It was a piece of laundry. Jerry West famously told us that they would get so sweaty they would just wring them out and throw them in the trash. That's what he told me.
Tragic.
Tragic.
Brahm, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.